Hi there. Good to see everyone. I feel like I've been away for so long. So today I'm really talking about common misconceptions about ketogenic dieting. And specifically, it's the idea of overthinking the macronutrient portion and frankly, a lot of confusion about it. It seems like a lot of people I talk to are confused about how much fat, how much protein, how many carbs do I need to be successful at ketogenic dieting. And they're going into the diet with a lot of misconceptions and a lot of sort of old ideas. So we're going to really dive into that today. And very quickly, I'm Stacey Portugal, and I'm a weight loss coach for women who are over 40 years of age and who are ready to finally lose that weight, adopt a low carb lifestyle, and gain some confidence. And anyway, so I've been away for a little while, but I'm back. Haven't been away for too long, but I've been doing calls all throughout the month of October to help people gain a better understanding of the ketogenic diet and to help them be successful. So right after this broadcast, I'm going to go into the comments and give you the link. And all these calls are free that I'm doing, but there's another one coming up on Sunday. So you're going to want to make sure that you get in the loop and get all the information so that you can learn about ketogenic dieting. In fact, on Sunday, I'm going to be talking about the good, the bad, and intermittent fasting. So that's what's coming up this Sunday. So let's kind of dive into, I have another computer in front of me, and let's sort of dive into the misconception about the macros that you need for ketogenic dieting. And I think people just really overthink it, including myself, honestly. But the more you stick with ketogenic diet, the more sense it makes, the more you learn, the more you're guided, the more the macros don't really make that big of a deal to you. So you are able to figure them out pretty simply without things getting really complicated. So I wanted to clear up a few misconceptions about ketogenic dieting and, overall macros. So it's weird. I'm watching myself on another screen, but if you ask me questions, I really can't see it on my phone. So I want you to feel free to just comment if there's something that you're interested in learning about ketogenic dieting. And I'll answer it right here, or be sure, if you're watching on replay, I'll be sure to answer it another time, on my next broadcast. All right, so this is what I kind of hear from clients. I hear that eating a lot of protein is not good for you, so that it's bad for your kidneys. So I'll give you the fact as I understand it. And that is, and I say it like that because I'm not a dietitian or a nutritionist, but I have been helping people lose weight for about 10 years. My certification is in nutrition, and I've been a life coach for almost 5 years, helping people with their health and wellness. So this is something that I do have some experience with, and my understanding is that protein, it is very hard to eat an enormous amount of protein where you would actually damage your kidneys. Most of us would not be eating that much protein. I mean, think of even a person who's, really overweight. They probably eat way more protein than you, and their kidneys are healthy in many cases. So you would really have to eat like an enormous amount of protein. But here's the fact. Ketogenic dieting is not a high protein diet. I feel like that was an old belief when Atkins first came out. So that's not real. And in fact, if you eat too much protein on the ketogenic diet, too much protein that your body cannot use. And protein is a workhorse. So there's a lot of jobs for protein. But the truth is, if you have eaten more than you need, it does get converted to glucose and either burned for energy or stored as fat. So you really don't want to overeat protein. And you can start at a level and see how you're doing. If you're losing, that's great. If you're not losing weight and that's your goal, then it's something we can certainly play with. You know, you can certainly lower the amount of protein that you're eating and find that sweet spot that's just right for you. Here's a saying that you're going to be hearing a lot from me. We are all snowflakes. And what I mean by that is every single snowflake supposedly is different structurally. They all look completely different, like our handprints. And we are all different. So we're going to all need a little different amount of protein. And a great place to start is the macros calculators that are online. But at the end of the day, you really have to see what your results are. And you may have to adjust your macronutrients. So I'm going to keep it really simple. Ketogenic dieting is not a high protein diet. It is an adequate, moderate protein diet. And eating too much protein, in fact, could prevent weight loss. Number 2, you may have a fat phobia. So even though on the ketogenic diet, you are supposed to eat relatively high amounts of fat, a lot of people, including myself, sometimes have difficulty with that concept because we've all been brought up, many of us, in the, if you're over, 20, you've been brought up in the era of non-fat diets. And so that is mega misinformation. And unfortunately, there are practitioners that are walking around preaching that false message. A non-fat diet is not the road to weight loss. In fact, fat is a necessary macronutrient that you need in your body. And as long as you are consuming healthy sources of fat, you need fat to burn fat. That's the fact on the ketogenic diet. You're eating very low amounts of carbohydrates, and so your body is not using glucose, carbohydrates, for energy. It's turning to fat. So you need to feed it fat for it to adapt to using fat. And our bodies are meant to use fat. We're not doing anything strange. It's just that we live in such a high carb society because of processed foods that people they think you need hundreds of grams worth of carbs every day in order to lose weight. But that's really way more than your body can use. And that's why you put on weight. And that is the current thinking in the cause of heart disease and a whole host of other chronic issues. So if we have a fat phobia and you feel that too much fat is going to make you fat or it's going to clog your arteries, the fact is we need fat to burn fat. It will make you keto or fat adapted, and your body will burn the fat for energy. And that's why you don't have to worry as much about saturated fat, because it's not stored, it's burned. Okay. The last one, I'm going to keep it really short today. The last thing that I wanted to discuss is that kind of an Atkins mentality that you can eat unlimited amounts of protein and fat in order to lose weight. So this is not true. You cannot eat unlimited amounts. And in fact, if you eat unlimited amounts, and your goal is to lose weight, you probably will not be able to reach your goal. And I don't know about you, but I can eat a lot of food. Now, having said that, most of the people that know me and work with me know that I prefer, I don't require, but I prefer that my clients track what they eat. It could be through an app. It could be simply the act of writing down so they remember when we speak. And the reason, there's two main reasons. There's a lot of benefits to tracking, but the two main reasons are it keeps you accountable just to yourself. It also keeps you aware of what you're eating, and it gives me data. So when you come to me and you say, wow, this is working so well, I'm like, awesome, let's see exactly what you're doing so you could do it again. Or you might say to me, it's not working. I'd say, awesome, let's look at what you're doing. So it just simply provides data. Now, to think that we could eat unlimited amounts of food and lose weight is probably not that realistic. And I know people don't like to hear this, but I do believe that calories in, calories out really still applies regardless of the method of weight loss. So if you're eating unlimited fat and protein, and chances are if you need to lose weight, chances are you tend to overeat, you're probably not going to be able to lose weight without any sort of accountability or any sort of data to even look at and learn from. So what you could do if you don't want to track is understand the ratios of protein to fats. And we can work with ratios. So you don't have to track, but I do recommend it. And if you don't want to track, there is an alternative. But you have to be accountable and aware in some way, shape, or form, or it is going to be harder to reach your goals. I mean, that's my opinion. That's been my experience. So needless to say, we are all snowflakes, and we might have a little bit different needs in terms of how much protein, how much fat, and it's going to be a variety of things that you might be dealing with that would affect those numbers. It could be your age. It could be your hormone levels. It could be, are you having blood sugar issues? So there's a whole bunch of things that could affect that. But what's most important is to be aware of the fact that you cannot eat unlimited amounts, and we do keep track in order to stay accountable to how much we're eating. And if not, we can learn like ratios to keep it in line. So if you have any questions, I want you to feel free to put them in the comments, and I'll make sure that throughout this month I will be covering it. Feel free, Keto Qs, you can even send me an email with the subject Keto Q. I've got a keto question. And just remember that try not to overthink a ketogenic diet. It's not as complicated as it seems, but it really does help to have someone that you can ask questions to who has experience with the ketogenic diet, because she has been doing it herself for a couple of years now. So I hope to see you on our free calls this month. In fact, we only have 3 left, and the subject matter for the rest of the month is basically just how to manage a ketogenic diet. It's the good, it's the bad, it's intermittent fasting, it's dealing with social situations and restaurants, and each discussion might be a little different based on the group, but I hope you'll join me. And in order to join me, you do need to register, although the calls are free. So just go ahead, click in the link I'm about to put in the comments. And I really hope that this was helpful for you today. And I really want to know what's on your mind. So please don't hesitate. Well, I will see you all in the next video, and I hope you have a great day.